at the end, on your drive at the end, when
Right.
you got inside the 10, you know, and you ran it, I think, the 3 times, and any consideration at all to throwing in any of those circumstances at all? Or was the fear of a pick?
We only ran once.
Well, Cody
that was the last play, but that was a pass.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. You know, Cody's a little magician in the red zone, but he's a little bit of an atypical. I mean, you go back to the ESPN highlight. You know, those were running plays, and he's on the corner. I tried to make sure that what happened right at the end of the half, where we threw the interception, that was what was still sticking with me. And the red zone for a quarterback is a defining area because the game gets faster, the spots get tighter, and the rhythm changes in a game. I mean, if you are not patient, you either have to be really fast or really patient. The normal rhythm doesn't work. That's the reason you find guys that they're one thing till they get down there. Well, still working through it with Cody. You know, he's an amazing playmaker. But on the play he ran, and that's the other thing, he will turn into a runner on a pass play in a heartbeat. And I've had a couple of people ask me, you know, what about when you called the timeout? The timeout was called, I called it, to stage the end, just to make sure that we understood that, you know, we were going to throw a touchdown, throw it away. I have no problem when Cody takes it down, as long as he takes it down because of opportunity. Because the worst thing you can have against the clock is to get sacked. But also to stage, the other thing that you got to make sure happens in the red zone is that you don't get caught with a passing formation on the field and have a short yardage situation, and it's not your philosophy to be throwing a pass in a compressed area when you're a running football team. And so we staged that. And actually, I think if he had been more patient, the tight end was coming open across the back line, and I think he was protected well, guys. But those are quarterback plays. And I'll be honest with you, I don't second guess Cody for 1 minute. What we've been able to do, and I know you guys watch the games, right? You know, what we've been able to do, it's culminated in a 200-yard rusher, a 100-yard pass receiver, and a 300-yard passer. This is not the same offense that he inherited when Marquez got hurt. If you looked real close, and these guys know, we have gone to Cody offense, which is pretty good. I don't think there's a more dynamic combination runner passer anywhere than what we got. Anywhere. I've never had one as good. But it's still with young hands, and he's a sophomore. He's playing in his second year too. What we didn't see against Tennessee Tech, we came back and got really focused on it this week. But I think we're still a little undefined in the red zone. And as part of this, it says, well, why don't you just go with the wishbone down there and just, you could go that way because Cody do it better than most people that are running the wishbone, I'll promise you. Or do you maintain the ability, because we've got really quality receivers down in there. But that's the area maybe that we hadn't got as good as we need to be. And I'm coaching coming out of that 14-point turnaround at the end of that half, all the way into this dang building, talking to everybody. Now, we came out, we scored the first 4 times we got the ball after looking like we were fixing a cave. Took command of the game. And, but still, you know, that, if you can't, to me, you can't talk about the red zone at the end without talking about what the effect of the red zone at the end of the half was. And does this anyway mean that there's some issue with Cody? Listen, I'm the guy that stopped the game to put him in the ball game to be an ESPN highlight, okay? But they had no idea who that was or what he was doing. There is some of this scout report involved in this too now.
And I just want to ask you a fallout question.
Yeah.
How much are you aware of the anger in the fan base because of what happened Saturday?
it.
And how do you respond to those folks that are critical of the way that the last 7 minutes unfolded?
They can't be any more critical than I am. Not. Like I told these guys, you think you hurt, been here as long and done what I've done, and tell me you can be more bothered than I am. You can't be. Nobody. Okay? But have your pity party real quick. Because the only reason we've gotten these people with these high expectations is we've taken this program forward every time we've moved. It might not, as I've said before, we are good at taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But if you look at this program 3 years from now, this will be a blip. We're going this way, boys. And hey, I would second guess a heck if I sit in the stands as bad as anybody out there. But when you got tradition, I hate to bring this up because this is a bad irritation, but you could take the 4th quarter of Auburn versus Alabama last year, and you can make it say us a defining element for Alabama. Was it? No. This ain't a defining element for us. Now, I've heard this. How does this relate to the Tennessee Tech thing? That was defining. That was defining. I made major changes in what I expected, who I recruited, what I expected, because I saw flaws that we had gotten to. This guy right here is a phenomenal run blocker. Okay? People didn't think if you wasn't 6'3" or 6'2", you didn't need to play. I looked at him on film. We're going to run the ball. We got the right guy too, didn't we? I went from him not being on the list and was me making dang sure I got him. All right? But I told him, I don't have a scholarship for you right now. You believe in me enough. He did. Worked out the way we said, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Worked out the way we said?
Yes, sir.
And it's going to work out going forward too, boys.
For the how, because of Saturday last week, how important a game, a big a game, just to get back on the track again, is this one going to be for you guys going forward? And you're 3 years beyond this.
Well,
going forward.
I can tell you that this
Kids
program, let me tell you what, there's been a few turns in the road in this program. Tennessee Tech last year was one. Something's got to be done. 2007, we finished up the season at SEMO. You know this, Al. Defining. We're in a defining situation. I'll say this. There was a bunch of questions to be asked after those 2 situations. I mean, I questioned people I was looking at to some degree. I ain't questioning my players. What I'm questioning is, are you going to have a goddamn pity party up Friday and cause us a problem? That's the only problem I got. Get over your goddamn pity party, boys.
And then to the players that address that, how, for your futures, how, why was it to get it back together?
I mean, it's battle for the season still to win this game. I mean, like we said, we haven't given up on this game. I mean, I know the years ahead look great, but we're still all focused on this year, still make the playoffs and going on to win a championship still, OVC and national. I mean, that's our expectation.
You're right. I like these young guys say national championship now. My wife says, quit talking about that. Just win the next game in the league. But you don't get to those places by accident, boys. You wake up one day and be sitting there and fix to go play for the national championship and you're going, what am I doing here? He knew when he walked in the door that's where he was going. This guy was raised in the house with that. This guy was too.
And then other guys, when they address that too, about the vitalness of Saturday for moving ahead.
Oh yeah, everybody's moving on, you know, because we know what we did Saturday, and we know that it's very important for us to finish out the season with these 2 wins.
We have to win these next 2 games to keep our hopes and dreams alive of winning our goals of our championships. We have to win out in order to set ourselves in the position to accomplish our goals. So getting back on track this week against SEMO and getting a win is of the utmost importance.